best father-daughter women's basketball podcast in the world. I'm Natalie Franklin.
I'm Gregory Franklin.
Yes, this is the father-daughter duo. We're back to talk about the games, one game, USC versus UConn.
Yep.
And it is the morning of said game. Therefore, I have a little coffee, which I might be sipping on. Off top, this game, obviously, it was supposed to be a little more, I don't know, what do you want? Flair, fan excitement, a little bit more shininess to it.
There was an anticipation of
There you go.
deeper competition and definitely, a bigger draw, because of the participants.
Yes,
Yep.
Juju, the lack of Juju has kind of dim the light on this game, but nonetheless, we're still excited. We just wish we could see Juju play. Ironically, though, Juju might not even be at the game because right now we have the Team USA training camp going on at Duke University, and also Paige will not be there because Paige is also participating in said training camp.
And the game it's a home game for SC.
It is.
So
It is.
yeah, so it's impossible for them to fly across the country and then fly back, and that's understandable. So we get it.
Right. But this game still has what Gino's calling the best freshman in the country in Jazzy. Jazzy is her last name, Davison. Yes, Jazzy Davidson. So she will still be participating. Obviously, you have the usual suspects over there at UConn, your AZ Fuds, your Sarah Strongs,
Yep.
everyone else on that team
Yep.
who's just
Yep.
incredible.
Well,
I think.
wait. Don't forget about London Jones, though, on SC.
I was just gonna. Elio, yes. On SC, you do have London Jones still. You still have Smith. I mean, I'm not saying that, USC is absolutely dreadful and without Juju. I'm just saying Juju was going to be the box office draw, like you pointed out. But USC nonetheless still has great players. I just, me, I'm UConn down this season. I just don't think anybody compares to UConn. No shade to anyone else. That doesn't mean you're not. UConn is just better than you. Uh, what stands out to me in this matchup is that UConn is averaging 91 points this season, while USC is only averaging 72. If you watch USC's last game against Washington, their first conference game, that stat shouldn't be a surprise to you. It was very low scoring. But part of me is leaving hope that maybe USC is the type of team that plays to the level of their competition. And maybe when they're playing UConn, they will kind of mirror a UConn style, because UConn likes to run, UConn likes to shoot, they like to run up the score. So I'm hoping we get a better showing than what we saw when we last saw USC. Now, don't get me wrong, USC did win against Washington. The game just was very lackluster.
Yeah. The thing about UConn, and just, if I have to identify a few things that they really have going in their favor, and if it all comes together, it will be a long evening, afternoon, wherever you may be, for the Trojans. And they have tremendous offensive firepower, just like you pointed out. That 90 plus, a game is huge. The other thing is they have the ability to neutralize Jazzy Davidson. And that's going to be a key. If they neutralize her, then it's going to be a problem. USC will have problems. The other thing is UConn will more than likely dominate in the paint. So the opportunities for second chance rebounds, if UConn gets control of this, will make it even harder for USC. And then, of course, defensive pressure. They'll apply just overall defensive pressure to create opportunities. So UConn has, if all these things come together for them, it's not going to be good for SC.
Right. And I think SC, if someone has a breakout game other than Jazzy, that might be the key to helping them get over a hump. You mentioned London Jones. She is shooting 37% beyond the arc with 1.7 made 3-pointers for the Trojans. And she was kind of big for them in the last game against Washington with getting them over the hump. I like the point about defense. UConn, in addition to being, obviously an offensive threat, their defense, when they decide to press or, defend full court, I think that makes it difficult for a lot of teams. Again, USC is hard because I still think they do play to the level of their competition. So it's a hard scouting report. I mean, I think if you watch the Notre Dame game, that was pretty obviously neck and neck, and they lost in a final shot by Hannah Hidalgo. But we saw a lot more fight. We saw a lot more energy, a
Yeah.
lot more. I'm sorry. I'm stuck on that Washington game because it was so bad. Like that's why the Washington game going into UConn, it does not make me hopeful for USC because I'm kind of like, yikes.
Wait,
Uh,
no. It's
I know. I want to give USC it. I'm trying to like not even make that game count. Like
oh
maybe that was just a
no.
one off, or because
Oh,
again, Washington was playing terrible too. But I think obviously they're going to be. I'm just being optimistic, being prepared for UConn, right? I don't think they'll treat this like the same way they treated, the Washington game. They understand it's UConn. They understand UConn is the best team in the country right now.
yeah.
They're on a 25 game winning
Yep.
streak.
Yep.
They're 35-1 since we started 2025.
Wow.
Like this
Wow.
isn't just there's a different and like I say all the time with UConn, there's a different
Yeah.
preparation.
Yeah.
You've pointed out already about it, being at a disadvantage on the inside, and that is simply because of Sarah Strong.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what their game plan is for Sarah Strong. Obviously, you have AZ Fudd and you want to run her off the 3-point line. I get that, but Sarah Strong is probably a person they really practice, they've watched film on. That's who I'm interested to see how they guard her.
So look, if I'm SC, my keys for SC are simply this. One is you have home court advantage, and
Mhm.
their attendance and their crowd that attends those games could give them, energy. At least enough energy to say, hey, we can win this thing, or hey, well, let's do it for the fans. So that's important.
Do it for the fans.
And well, I mean, yeah. And if Jazzy and London can continue with their productivity, or elevate it in this case, then it's going to be hard on UConn, because once they get rolling, scoring, and doing all that good stuff, they're really tough to guard. SC then, in turn, on the defensive side, pressure the ball handlers. Make AZ and others work for their shots. Sarah Strong is a different story. Okay, she's a beast, and it may be one of those like Michael Jordan things where let Sarah get hers, but stop everybody else from getting theirs. I mean, I don't know how you think about it, but if they put pressure on the ball handlers, slow them down so they don't get to that 90-point mark, a low scoring game will be key in this
Yeah,
situation. That would be great, and then
yeah,
control their own turnovers. SC cannot be making a whole lot of turnovers. Their possessions have to be good possessions. So if they can do that and then compete on the boards, I don't know if they'll be able to control the boards. That would be great. But
mhm,
at a minimum here, compete on the boards, and I think we'll have a very good game.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
we'll have a good game.
I think so too. I'm hopeful it's going to be a good game. I mean, obviously, again, UConn has been blowing teams out.
Yep.
I believe
Yep.
they've won their last, 4 games by
Yep.
34 or more points. But I do think that USC is prepared and they are not going to allow, obviously, they're not going to lose by 34 points. No one thinks that.
Yeah.
But to your point about scoring, they're going to have to step it up on their scoring,
Yeah.
maybe take more threes than they're usually used to taking just
Yeah.
to keep up with UConn scoring. Um, and again, I think we'll see in this game how USC is really missing Juju, just from a veteran's point of view, because Jazzy, as good as she is, she's still a freshman.
That's right.
There's still situations she's learning to adapt to. I think, unfortunately, she's got a lot on her plate this season because of the Juju injury.
Yep.
She's been asked to do a lot. They drop plays for her in the, to win games, for God's sakes. I think she's got to be in this mindset that, I'm a freshman, but I'm not being asked to do freshman things. I'm in a leadership role that a freshman usually isn't in, and I just have to, kind of step into that. Like I said, Gino gave her props, but if I was Jazzy, that would scare me, because that means you are really focused on
You're
me.
thinking
And
about
like
me.
you said,
Yeah.
exactly. And like you said, that means you are coming for me. You're probably going to double me. You're probably going to throw a full court press at me. So while that's flattering, Jazzy is probably like, oh crap, clean version. Oh crap. Gino's coming for me,
Yeah.
which I like.
Well, I mean, look, the team, in today's, sports athletics, particularly, like basketball, football, there aren't many secrets. You know what I mean? You have enough tape on folks, you don't have to actually go to a game to scout a particular player. You can go to YouTube and the players can scout each other from home, from their car, from whatever. So yeah, if I'm Jazzy, I'm scouting folks too. I'm looking at how they defend players who are like me,
Yeah,
tendencies that I might do that I might not want to do with UConn. Part of UConn's, big scoring thrust is fast break points and points off turnovers. And that's why, limiting the
yeah,
number of turnovers will be important because as a freshman, they're going to challenge her freshmanness, if there's such a word.
yeah.
They're going to challenge that. They're going to throw folks at you. They're going to put you in situations that they deem to be uncomfortable. You just have to be aware of that and understand what do you do, once that happens to you. So I'm still thinking we're going to see a good game. Now, how SC controls UConn, whether they slow the game down or whether they just decide we're just going to run with you, that's the part I'm waiting for.
Right, and I think they should try to slow the game down,
Yep,
control the
yep,
tempo.
yep,
I think if it does turn into a track meet or, that's where they could get a little caught up because UConn obviously is has way more depth than USC.
yep,
Like, I don't even
yep,
think you can outrun them.
yep,
First of
yep,
all, they don't seem tired.
yep,
This team doesn't the starters, nobody seems fatigued
yep,
over there,
yep, yep.
but let's just say they do. They can bring in 5 more players. So you have to slow this game down. You have to control the scoring with your defense, and force UConn into a half court possession. Now that's way easier said than done, but that's the way they could, have a chance of beating them. I'm just gonna say it,
Yep,
beating them.
yep,
I mean, and don't get me wrong, even though I believe in UConn and I think they'll win this game, I would love a USC upset.
yeah, yeah,
Like, that would just really shake up things. I think that would shake up the ratings, the rankings, because, this is 16 versus number 1.
yeah.
I would love an upset. Please don't get me wrong. Like, I'm rooting for USC to do an upset. I love the drama of an upset. I just think that would be so great for USC, and it would be a great confidence booster for them as we are in November. I mean, excuse me, we're in December. As we're in December and with January quickly
Yeah, yeah.
approaching, it would just be an amazing, amazing thing. And also to prove to themselves, like, yeah, we're missing Juju, but we've got enough here to, carry ourselves while she's recovering.
Yeah, full disclosure, I'm a SC fan. I love, SC football as well. I just think that, when you play a team like UConn, you have to be near perfect, if not perfect, in so many other categories. And,
Yeah,
the elephant in the room is Gino. He's an experienced veteran coach. He's seen probably everything. His team is really, really disciplined because that's what he teaches is discipline. The SC coach, while she's good, you're talking about a situation where you have to be great when you play
hmm
UConn. So
yeah,
it's going to be tough. It's going to be real
yeah,
tough. Upsets are possible, as we know in the sports world. But when you talk about a UConn, uh, it is tough.
yeah.
They just hit the mark in so many categories, just so many.
Yes.
So
Yeah, and I think to your point about, they hit the mark in so many categories. Meanwhile, USC, Jazzy Davidson is the team leader in all categories except for steals. And that just speaks again to the lack of depth and range that USC has, unfortunately, this season. Especially when we compare it to UConn. I mean, we talk about London, but London's not even a starter.
right, right,
Like, that's how much we are, like, kinda looking for the next girl up. We're like, "Maybe you, London, maybe Smith, I don't know, Dunn," or, like, we're just and then that's why I said maybe the key to USC and maybe their key to this game is who is gonna step up besides Jazzy? Who else is going to, you know, grab the rebounds, score,
Yep.
dish the assist, give a block.
Yep. Yep.
Who else is going to put in the work? And so it's not all on Jazzy because, as we know, it's easier to guard one person. But when more people are contributing, that's when it gets difficult for the defense. But if it's just one person,
Yeah. Yeah.
if you shut that person down, and therefore the rest of the offense shuts down, that's going to be, what do they call that? Chicken dinner for
Barbecue chicken.
oh,
Barbecue.
barbecue chicken.
Not chicken dinner.
Barbecue
Barbecue
chicken.
chicken. Barbecue
It's
chicken.
gonna be barbecue chicken for
Yeah. Yeah.
UConn.
Yeah. Well, and look, here's the deal. Again, when I say, you can't check so many boxes, if you should, let's say, shut down AZ Fudd, you know, and Gino being the coach that he is, he will probably go, inside. You have Sarah
Yeah,
Strong. He'll flip it. His strategy may flip. AZ, tonight's not your night. Today's not your day. I'm sorry. Today's not your day. We're going to go into the paint and we're going to pound it out today.
yeah,
And vice versa. If they shut down Sarah Strong, we're going to go to the perimeter and we're just going to become a perimeter flame throwing team today. So,
right.
and that's, sort of, I mean, the experience of Gino to in-game adjustments, probably the king of in-game adjustments in the college ranks. So we're going to get to see that. It is going. This is why this game for me will be good, great to watch, entertaining as well, because we will see Gino. We'll probably see Gino do a marvelous job coaching, and we'll get a chance to understand how SC's coach responds to a really really great team. I don't think I've seen that this season so far. So yeah, I'm highly anticipating a very not so much as a chess match, maybe a little bit of checkers, but I'm anticipating a pretty good game.
Right. I think Jazzy will play well. I think it's gonna. I'm always interested to seeing her play with, like you said, against a good team, just to see what she really can do. And much like how I feel about Sarah Strong, much like I feel about a lot of Joyce Edwards, young talent. It's nice to see them this good so early in their career. It makes you hopeful for, man, what are you going to look like next year, the year after that, and I think despite, again, I have to keep bringing up, despite Juju not being, being able to play, I still think we'll see some good basketball, high level basketball. I still think we'll see some really great stuff from Jazzy. And again, hoping for an upset. I'm gonna leave that window of optimism open. Uh I think we just need to be like, can we want a good game. We don't want to blow out. But I think the energy in that arena is gonna be hyped because it's sold out.
Oh, definitely.
Uh
Yeah.
yeah, the energy in the arena is gonna be great.
Yeah, no,
Great.
that's an advantage for SC. Definitely that energy. If they can harness that energy and turn that into effort on the court, yeah, we will
Mhm.
definitely see a great game. And if they can manage to throw in a little bit of physicality as well, because we really haven't seen a team be physical with UConn. And
Yeah,
big crowds, your fans, they love scoring and they love physicality.
yeah,
And they love scoring and they love physicalities. Folks hitting the floor, people, kind of bumping each other unnecessarily hard. That motivates, the audience and the attendees. I'm sorry, the attendees, and you're gonna get that energy from them. So if they see the SC players, sort of exerting themselves on the best women's basketball team in the country, that's going to charge the fan base and hopefully gives that energy to the players. So yeah, it's gonna be great. Gonna be great.
yeah, yeah. They might have to push Sarah Strong around a bit, right? And just to make their presence known, their presence felt.
Hey, touch her.
Dodger. Sorry, I had a coach that used to yell that to us all the time. He wanted us to like touch the defender. Anyway, inside joke. Uh, but yeah, so that is the USC versus UConn, which is December 13th, Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Was that 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, depending on where you are. Again, UConn's the number one team in the country. They're 9-0. USC is number 16 at 7-2, which I can't wait for that game. Really quick before we get up out of here, I just wanted to do a quick hit on Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State. What do you call that, Dad? An in-state
Another
rivalry?
in-state rivalry, like we saw Iowa and Iowa State the other night. Yeah,
Yes.
in-state rivalry. Those are always great. I mean, it motivates the state. It generates, a whole lot of, back and forth between those who attended each school. So no, those are great. I like those.
Yeah, that will be at 4 p.m. Eastern. I think what's interesting about these teams, like Oklahoma State's averaging 96, about 96 points a game, and Oklahoma 93. They're two of the highest scoring teams in the country. So I expect a high score. I expect a high score. Maybe they're gonna one other side's gonna turn up the defense. I don't know, but this definitely will be a fast game. Both teams like to get downhill, so that is gonna be a very exciting watch. Although once again, I think Oklahoma will take this. They're leading the series 68-48. Again, I'm open to an upset, but I just feel Oklahoma is gonna get it done with Aaliyah, and you have what's the center's name at Oklahoma? It's escaping me. My gosh.
I don't know.
What's the center's name? This is so embarrassing. I can see her name. I love her name too. It's like oh my god. Now I have to look it up.
Look it up.
Reagan. Jesus Christ. Reagan. I was about to call her Regina, but I'm like, that's an old lady name. As an old lady myself, I can say Regina's an old lady name. But yeah,
Reagan
with
Beers,
Reagan,
right? Is it Beers?
yeah,
Yeah.
with Reagan and Aaliyah, I just think that they're gonna. And speaking of Aaliyah, another great freshman this year. What is she like? Maybe I would say top five because I don't know where she falls. She's also top five freshman in the country this year. When we saw her play, what was that last month? She was getting good looks at the basket, but nothing was falling. And I think we made the note that she's good. She's a freshman. You can tell she's still trying to figure out, the college game
Yeah.
and the pace
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
And her shots will eventually fall. And they've done just that. She has had some big numbers and some big games. She's leading the team in points, averaging 19.2
Yeah.
points,
Yeah.
4 assists a game. And they have a lot of depth. Like, with USC, the leader over there is Jazzy. With UConn, besides points, the leader is Sarah Strong. With Oklahoma, you got Aaliyah leading in points and assists. She's the point guard. And then you have Reagan leading in rebounds. But then you have two other people leading in steals and blocks. So they've got a lot of depth over there. They're an exciting team to watch. I'm glad we got the honor and privilege to watch them play against UCLA. Even though they didn't win, they play hard.
They played hard.
They
They played
play
hard.
really hard.
Let me say this. They played well enough to win.
Yeah,
It just didn't show on the scoreboard, and
exactly.
as we, pointed out, that coach is tough. She's
Yeah,
not,
she
she's not trying to hear, oh, my ankle hurt. Oh, I got a chipped toenail. No, she's not hearing any of that. She comes on the floor and tells her players, get up right now and get back in the game. I mean, that kind of energy is absolutely great. She is not
yeah.
playing.
When Reagan went down in the UCLA verse when they played UCLA, she went down hard, and she was really injured. And their coach was like, "Get up, Reagan, get up." And not to say the coaches doesn't care or anything like that. I do think if she didn't get up, and the rule when if the trainer comes out, you have to come out.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I feel like that was probably the motivation.
Yeah.
But to your point, yes, she's one tough cookie. She's not gonna let her players cry about anything. It's like
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
get the hell up.
But I will say,
But I good.
but I will say this: when Reagan came to the sideline, she did show Reagan some love.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Okay.
yeah, she's not a complete, she's not cold. She's just like, look,
Yeah.
if I have to bring a trainer out there, like, you have to get off. And I'm not trying to do that. Get up. But yes, when she did come off the sideline, she checked on her and made sure she was
Yeah.
good. But, like they say, when we're in between those lines, I'm not trying to hear that crying. I'm not trying to hear I'm hurt.
Nope.
Get up.
Nope. I want you on your feet and playing. I'll tell you when I'm
Right.
come out. So no, I mean, again, but that tells you, in my opinion, the mentality of that team. We are here to compete. We're here to win, and we're not going to let little injuries. And I don't say that was a little injury, but we're not going to let injuries take us out of our game plan. Because, like I said, they played well. They played well enough to win to beat UCLA. It
Right.
just didn't show on the scoreboard.
Right. And by the way, Oklahoma's number 9. Oklahoma State is number 23. So, with that being said, we have some great basketball on December 13th. Hope you all enjoy, as we will be enjoying as well. Let us know in the comments what you think. Will USC upset UConn? Do the unimaginable? Or is UConn running away with this? Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to hear more women's basketball takes from a very cute father-daughter duo.
Okay.
Tink. Tink. We have a new episode every Monday. So on Monday, we will be talking about these games and the results. Who knows? Monday, we might be talking about 2 upsets. Oh my God, Oklahoma State upset Oklahoma. Oh my God, USC upset UConn.
Yeah.
We'll be excited.
And again, we do fast breaks. So we do things in between our usually regularly scheduled posting of this show.
We do. We are
Yeah.
content machines. And also, our Monday episodes are also on Spotify and Apple if you are an audio loyalist and for some reason don't want to be on YouTube. Many ways to listen. So, with that being said, enjoy these games and we will talk to you guys next time. Bye.
Bye, folks.